What's the easiest way that Alice could make information available to Bob? If she left it in her house, tells Bob where it is, what would make it easiest for Bob? Even easier, leaving it unlocked. You can leave the house unlocked. What's the drawback for that? It's also easy for Eve. So it's very, very easy, but it's not secure at all because it's easy for the person we want. It's also easy for the person we don't want. What's something that we could do that would make it really, really hard for Eve to get into our house? And I mean, doing a key is the obvious answer, but I mean like harder than that. I'm going to say even more than that. We could put up, go ahead, a lock with a code. I'm going to encase the house in concrete. I'm going to encase it in a concrete cube. I guarantee you, Eve is not going to get in that house. It's also hard for Bob. I didn't say it wasn't also hard for Bob. I said it was hard for Eve. Eve's not getting in that house. So obviously neither one of these situations is what we want. What we want is something in the middle. We want something that is easy for Bob and hard for Eve. I think a key or a key with a code is an optimal solution. Because that way, as long as Bob doesn't lose the key, it's really easy for him to get in. And Eve might be a locksmith or something, but she's going to have to work harder than Bob. We can't guarantee Eve doesn't get in. All we can do is make it so that if everything works as planned, it's much, much harder for Eve than it is for Bob. So this is the trade-off. We might call this trade-off security versus convenience. Create a new account and it asks you for a password. You go through this all the time. For instance, when you set up a cryptocurrency wallet like Bitcoin or a MetaMask wallet or something, you're given 12 random words. You don't even get to pick the words. You have to write down those words. That's called your seed phrase. That's how you log in. If you ever lose those 12 words, you are done. On the other hand, you can just make your password the password, which is the most common password, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be incredibly convenient, but it's not going to be secure. And so our objective is to figure out what can we do in the middle. That's always going to be a trade-off. Security means something is safe, hard to actually crack. People often make the mistake of assuming that obscure means secure. And what I mean by this is Kirchoff, we'll talk about later, had a principle that said you should assume the attacker knows everything about your system except for one piece. And that one piece of information is the key. Whatever the key is, they don't know that. But you should assume that your attacker knows that you're using a replacement alphabet. You're just allowed to assume they don't know what the replacement alphabet is. But there's nothing you should assume that your attacker is not willing to do to get the information that they want.